Alright, we got the NASDAQ, the NAS100. So slowly but surely making its way down, shooting for this 14,500 level, which is the monthly range. If this around 15.8 here is the monthly high, this is its normal range. It's about 1,300 points lately. So you can see yesterday we had a nice bullish engulfing candle, which I don't want. I want to short this, to be honest. But that makes sense because you were in this liquidity zone here, so it made sense to get a bounce there. And this actually pushed a little, this was the original one, this actually pushed it a little bit lower to about there, so kind of pushed this zone a bit, which is good. Now you're seeing today New York actually just opened 3 minutes ago, I believe, unless we had time changes, but it looks to be about that way. So price actually crossed over this 4-hour moving average, and then right here broke below it, retested it twice, massive bear candle. So now price is below this 4-hour moving average, so that's nice to see. I think the bears are definitely with us a bit. It's gonna have to break this zone, which is pretty significant right now, and remember, price loves whole numbers, and as you can see, there is a nasty one right here. That's the wrong one. So we do have 15,000 right here. So always like to mark your whole numbers. So you can tell that this was significant. So you knew you're going to get a lot of buying momentum at 15,000. So we'll just see what it goes up to. But you can see we created a little baby liquidity zone up here just on the 4 hours, so like that's not super significant. I would still be looking at the main one, which would be this previous one up here. So we'll actually make this a little bit bigger. So this is the liquidity zone as it stands. I mean, if you would have gotten this entry up here, that would have been great, but odds are you didn't, because I definitely did not. And I don't think there was actually a clear trade up here, to be honest. No, there wasn't. So this would be our position right now. I mean, you are still, like, price is massively above this moving average. So I mean, don't get me wrong, the NASDAQ, as much as I want to short this, and as much as I do think it's going to collapse, it's not if, it's when. But the when could still be a long time. Like, this has been so overpriced, and all the fundamentals tell me that it's going to collapse. But I mean, just like the Big Short, the movie, Michael Berry or whatever, he wasn't wrong. He was just really early. So, but I'd rather be early and on top of things than get destroyed later on by investing in this, and having all your money in the stock market and just have it absolutely collapse. So, but anyways, that's a bit of a tangent there. You can see it is creating lower highs and lower lows. So like the bear structure is setting in. It's just not. It's not super substantial yet, but again, price did cross this 4-hour moving average, so it's possible. And then as of this 4-hour candle coming up, it's just retesting a little bit of this previous candle, but did create a little bit of a liquidity zone here on this 4-hour. So we'll see if that breaks today. You can see it kind of something like this. You can see rejected, 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 broke, and now is held. So I think price for today will actually come back up to this area, retest it, and then we'll see if it goes back down. But yeah, I got to keep in mind this 15,000 level. It's going to be super significant. It's going to be hard to break, and so that's what we got to wait for. But if price comes up to about 15.3, I'm actually going to mark this as well. 15,300. We'll see what price does in this area. It might be worth a potential short, but I mean, you are shorting the NASDAQ when it is very, very bullish. So I'd be a little hesitant on that. If we look at last week, super bearish. This week pulled up, retested basically the entire body of this candle, and potentially is pulling back now downwards, but we don't know that yet. We really have to wait a couple more days and just see how this sets up. But if price hits 15,300, I will look at it and see if there's a potential short entry. I would have to see some significant rejection at it, and it's cool that price is below this 1 hour as well, and it rejected it a few times, so it might come up actually again and reject at this 1 hour moving average. But recently you do have a little bit of you know, higher high, higher low, some bull structure setting in, but it did recently just break as of, you know, this low is lower than this one, so that could have broken, but you see New York opening bullish, so but that can change really quick. So yeah, we gotta see what this does the next couple days. I think you know, if it breaks 15,000, then we're, you know, we are considering some big shorts after that. I think that's such a significant number. And then if it breaks 15,000 and closes below it on like the weekly, for example, I mean, then you kind of, that really starts to fill this month. So basically we got 2 weeks left of this month, and so if this candle closes, like if this closed right now and we didn't have 2 weeks left, then I mean, like that's pretty much a bearish engulfing candle, and that's the first one we've had since November, or since December, like, so last year we've had nothing but straight bullish candles all the way up to this previous area. So really going to be mindful of how this month closes. And so like I said, if it breaks 15,000, let's say in a few days from now, and keeps trending down even just a little bit, you know, if price closes at like, let's say 14.8 to close the month, then I mean, you're looking like that's a bearish engulfing candle on the month. So then you're looking at more downside moves next month, which eventually it's going to cross over this moving average and go from bullish to bearish. So I mean, that is you know, hypothetical thinking, but like and is quite a ways away still. I know that I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but that is what I'm hopeful for. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. That's what I'm looking forward to. So, but we'll have to just wait until that happens, and in order for that to happen, we need price to break 15,000. So like this is goal one, you know, this week, breaking 15,000 and holding below it. And if it does that, then we're good. I think. Well, maybe not good, but we're better. We're in good shape. Where, you know, it's really showing some momentum to the downside if that happens. And we'll see what happens if it hits 15.3 today or tomorrow. If it starts rejecting this area, then you know, that might be some short position to be considered. You can see on a 4 hour here, it actually has created a lower liquidity zone relative to this one. Granted, it's only the 4 hour and it's very thin, but it is less than this previous one here, and it does align with these wicks as well. So you can see price rejected, broke, then broke back above, then broke below, then broke above again, then broke below, and is now came up and rejected it a few times with this nice bearish candle coming out of it. So this zone isn't super significant, but it is a little bit relative to what's happening right now. But my main zone is looking at 15.3. So we'll see what price does. If it comes up to here, then we'll look for a short, potentially, maybe. And if it breaks 15,000, we'll also look for a short position, maybe. So that is the NASDAQ 100. I am long-term bearish on the NAS, which I get it. Nobody wants to hear. Everyone thinks that price only goes up and stocks only go up and big tech this and that, but with high interest rates, it slows down economic activity and affordability and a lot of other things that you really have to consider on a monetary aspect. So that's my take on the NASDAQ, and I'll keep you guys posted.